your style of music as well and complement a show.
That'd be fantastic. We'd love
Cool.
nothing more.
Nice, nice. I got to ask you though, is Troy your manager?
He is taking care of a lot of stuff for us. We don't have him officially, yeah.
Right, because
But yeah, if you wanted to do something via him, that's fine.
that's fine. Okay, cool. Because Barbara is the CEO of our company, Aurora Entertainments, and she brings bands into the country, does all the logistics with, of course,
She does? Okay.
emphatic, and all that. And believe me, we're bringing in some really cool bands at the moment. I think we're doing Creed in November, if you know what I mean. So we're forever bringing good names in. Some of the older school stuff, mostly some English stuff as well. There's Slade, there's Sweet, there's who else? Smokey. You know what I mean. Even the Bellamy Brothers are coming in. So we sort of cover.
Oh, cool.
We're covering all sort of genres where we can actually hit and target certain markets, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And we feel that your music is warranted to bring into the country. So we'll talk about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. You know, I absolutely love this thing about hot radio beats right now. It is absolutely stinking up here. It's really ridiculous, to be quite honest. 22 after 11 o'clock, 24 degrees now. We're climbing. Yay. I told you it was going to go higher than 22. Wednesday, March the 7th, and I'm joined by Lola Montez from Nashville, Music City. And it is nice to be able to have a band that's not solely country. You believe me, I love the sound that this band is coming out with right now. And it seems that, of course, Nashville is indicative of country music, don't you feel?
Definitely, but there's, especially, within the last, 10, 15 years, there's, even longer, but there's always been a really cool rock scene and, different types of music here. But yeah, I mean, there's still, there's a lot of country,
Believe me, we get hit with so many country bands coming out of Nashville. It is refreshing to have a band that isn't. That's what I was more pertaining to be quite honest with you. I got to be honest, not that I dislike country. I like a little bit of rock better, if you know what I mean. So something with a heartbeat, not a crazy old country old boy singing about his broken tailgate on his truck. You know what I mean?
Yes. Everything's about,
Yeah.
trucks and windows down.
Yeah, and alcohol. But having said that, coming out of Nashville, you guys must be familiar with a bit of Popcorn Sutton's mason jar recipes, wouldn't you?
Yes, I have sampled it and even been to one of his festivals. So.
You know, I have been.
Yes.
I've been trying to get every band that comes from all the way up through the Appalachians and everything like that to send me a sample. You know what I mean? To date, after a couple of years of doing this, haven't received one yet, but I'm sure Customs is getting drunk on me.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. When we get down there, I will bring you some popcorn Sutton's moonshine.
Nice. I would absolutely love it. Now, having said that, I have tried a little bit when I was in in America myself, but it was a long, long time ago, and I really don't remember it. Maybe it was that good that I don't remember it. That's why I want to try it again, basically. But you know, I like to sample all sorts of delicacies from around the world. Now, having said that, bringing you to New Zealand. We want to be able to bring you to New Zealand and have you play in front of Kiwi audiences here on stages throughout New Zealand. But I've got to ask you, are you up for doing something a little crazy, a little funky maybe?
Yes.
I don't see why not.
All right, I like the hesitation. You can see question marks above each one of their heads, especially Blake's there. He was rather worried there for a minute. But we have a thing here in New Zealand now. You see, the indigenous folks of New Zealand are the Maori. And way back in the day, before there was fast foods and corner shops and stuff like that, you know, a couple of decades ago, they used to eat wild food, namely stuff like pig and, of course, venison, stuff like that. But also, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
Wait, what is it? The what?
A hoo-hoo grub, and it's spelled H-U-H-U. And I'm not being, you know, no, not at all. This is a real animal called a hoo-hoo grub. Have you ever heard of one?
Oh, it's a grub?
It's a grub. Yeah, look at Blake's face. All of a sudden it's starting to...
I'll totally eat it.
You'll totally eat it. Believe me, you know what a caterpillar is, right?
What did you say?
You know...
Sorry, we didn't hear you.
That's okay, that's okay. Most people don't. You know what a caterpillar is, right? A caterpillar? You don't know what a caterpillar is? Something... Yeah, okay. Well, a hoo-hoo grub is like a caterpillar on steroids. It's huge.
Oh my god.
It really is. Now, let me set the scene here. It is white, it's big, it's got a black head. What you do is you put it body first in your mouth. Don't eat the head, bite the head off, put it away. It's yucky. But when you crunch down on this, it's like creamy peanut butter.
Oh. Well, like
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
No, it's not bad at all. In fact, I have had a few over the years, and as I say to you, when we bring people into the country, we like to do something that's a little crazy, but at the same time, it is indigenous to New Zealand. Our natives here in New Zealand have survived very, very well on them. But at the same time, what do you reckon, Barbara? We'll take them down the bottom of the South Island, and, I don't know, let's throw them off a bridge. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take you down.
Drop us off a bridge.
We're going to drop you off a bridge. It's called bungee jumping.
Oh.
Would you be up for it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I tell you what,
I'm afraid of heights.
that's okay. I'm afraid
But
of...
I'll do anything.
That's all right. I'm afraid of Australians. Don't worry about it.
Oh my I mean, I'll bungee, I will eat your caterpillar.
Awesome.
What else do you want us to do?
Well, I don't know. Are you into, I don't know, surfing, for instance?
Oh, I can't.
I don't think I'd be very good at it.
No, I don't think I can. I'm afraid of sharks.
Oh, we
A
don't...
lot of open water.
Well, actually, New Zealand is surrounded, it is actually a combination of 3 islands here in New Zealand, and we are completely surrounded by water. Of course, we have one other island just off to the west of us. We call it our West Island, which is Australia. You can gather that we give them a bit of stick, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a rugby thing, to be quite honest. We're the world champions. They didn't get anywhere, so, you know, not our fault. I'm sure it's like... Yeah, exactly. It's like you Americans and the Canadians. I'm sure it's an ice hockey thing, really, isn't it? Yeah, right, yeah. Well, I'll give you a little secret, actually. I was talking to an Australian the other day who has kangaroos bouncing around in his backyard, right? He didn't know that they can't bounce backwards. He had no idea that they can't bounce backwards. I'm going, what? I don't get it. Next to the koalas will be falling out of the trees at that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's shocking. In fact, they're in the middle of a huge heat wave over there right now, and I've heard that the trees are starting to whistle for dogs. But
you learn something every day.
yeah, absolutely. It's all about eucalyptus over there, believe me. But let's come back to New Zealand, because we do want you to have a lot of fun here in New Zealand. And we're thinking maybe 4 to 6 shows where we can actually get some of New Zealand bands intertwined with your music as well, and work together so that we can get these shows going. Would you be adverse as well as to actually doing it, maybe half a dozen shows in Australia?
Adverse at all.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like me. I like taking their money as much as anybody's, right?
No, I mean, like I said earlier, we'd love nothing more than to come down and play. It would be fabulous.
Brilliant. Because I'm going to talk to you very shortly about Crank It Up magazine. It's the magazine we've partnered with, coming out of Pennsylvania. I'll talk to you about that very shortly. But first of all, let's talk about Wife. How did that come about?
Okay, same relationship.
Oh, he made an impact, didn't he?
Well, alright, I just want to kill the wife. Anyway, I was in a relationship with a married person, and it's bad. It's a bad thing. I'm no longer.
Well,
We got a good song.
yeah, you know something? Life choices sometimes make absolutely superb lyrics, don't they?
What did you say?
Bad choice. Sometimes we do superb lyrics.
Ah, yes.
Well, I kind of agree. The best songs come from absolute experiences that you've absolutely loved and lived, if you know what I mean, and sometimes that you've lost as well. So, sometimes bad choices, damn good lyrics. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here's Lola Montez, Wife. Whew.
I know, our connection's not that great.
That's not right. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 24 away from 12 o'clock, 25 degrees. It is climbing, I tell you, it's getting ridiculous up here. Wednesday, March the 7th, and I'm joined, coming out of Nashville, with Lola Montez, and believe me, pleasantly surprised to see not only Inga, but Blake and Kurt join us as well. And an absolutely superb sound coming out of Nashville. It is I feel very humbled to meet you people, and we've spoken about getting you down here, down under. But I'm just wondering, over the winter period, were you recording? Were you in the recording studios?
Recording soon in April. In the summers when we did most of our recording for the EP, and we spent the last couple months doing mostly local and regional shows. But we just finished recording a new track, and we're gonna film a video for it shortly in a couple weeks.
Well, I tell you what, how would you like to premiere that with us here at Galaxy 107 FM? We would love to be able to have you back again and have a little discussion about your latest work and keep you rolling here at Galaxy. We love you that much. We want to find excuses to be able to have Lola Montez playing as many times as possible. Would you do that?
Absolutely. Love to.
Nice, because believe me, 5+ million, almost 6 million people right now are just going cock-a-hoop over this and love the idea of having Lola Montez releasing new music. At the same time, how would you like to send us maybe a few CDs, some swag if you would, to use as a competition so that we can keep you rolling that way as well? Because believe me, I know what our listeners are like. They like a bit of swag. They like a bit of CD to be able to play in the cars and stuff like that. And at the same time, shameless promotion. Basically, we would love to be able to do it for you.
Absolutely, we'd be glad to do it.
Awesome, and I tell you what, I'll get Barbara to send you all of the information. Maybe you could send me a shirt or two. You can see that today I'm dressed by Tommy Steele, vicariously, again, shameless promotion, and we do this very, very often when we do the interviews, and it goes onto our websites and stuff like that. Of course, bands love to be able to see that they are being promoted across the board. So if you want to send us a couple of spare t-shirts or something like that, I'd be honoured to be able to wear you in public.
What size you wear?
Well, actually, large, I would say, would be the best one. But if you're going to send something for Barbara, and I must say, I've got to say it. I've got to say it. I hear this so many times. Can you send me something I can get my boobs in? Believe me, big lungs, okay? So if you're going to send something for Barbara, at least XL or maybe a little bigger.
Okay.
Got you back. There you go. Believe me, I hear it all the time. I see somebody sent you a t-shirt and this one doesn't fit me. So believe me, please, it might actually save my day. Anyway, now I want to talk to you about Crank It Up magazine. Now, Crank It Up magazine is a partner of ours here in New Zealand. They come out of Pennsylvania over there in America. And I'll give you a little backstory. John Rain, who owns the magazine, actually makes movies for places like Warner Brothers, Universal Studios, and Bollywood, and is a very big friend of Quentin Tarantino. So we're talking rather, he's up there, really, to be quite honest with you. Now, one of Crank It Up will probably get in touch with you at some stage and want to do another interview with you because they write it all down rather than me talking about it all the time, if you know what I mean. But inside that magazine, there's a little tab there called Indie Garage, and they've just, I think, shot about 6 or 7 in a pilot series that's going up to Fox TV that's going to be viewed in front of about maybe 105 million people. So we'd like to be able to get you not only in the magazine, but recommend that we can get you into Indie Garage because you do qualify, you absolutely do. You never know. This coming movie that they're just making at the moment, actually, one of the bands we introduced to them, Craving Strange, is actually appearing in their movie, so you might get snackled up like that as well.
Well, we're photogenic. Are we movie ready?
Look at Blake, he's practicing already. He's looking for a bloodlust movie. I can see it running through his mind. Yeah, our vampires don't sparkle, right?
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, not only may we get you into movies over there, but I'm sure you've heard of Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
Right, just an hour or so away from where we are right now is Hobbiton. And when you come to New Zealand, we would love to be able to show you around that as well. So we are planning on doing some touristy stuff, not all work, if you know what I mean, and not all crazy stuff. We don't always make people eat hoo-hoo grubs, but it's always a challenge to watch people doing it. And you really don't want to watch me doing it. It is absolutely a nightmare. So, but in the meantime, we do have some really, really cool stuff that we can do as well. Would you be into paragliding?
What is it?
Would you be into paragliding? That's where you get towed behind a boat, fly up in the air.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I'm like for that.
Okay, the reason why I say that is we have a major lake not too far away from us. It's called Lake Rotorua, which is a city. In fact, it's a touristy city, more Maori orientated, and has the geysers and all that sort of stuff there. And believe me, it's very, very thermal. But we have a huge lake, and we would love to be able to get you out on that lake and give you a bird's eye view of basically Rotorua. And paragliding is a perfect way of doing it.
I'd go on the lake, yeah.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, I'm right there. I'm right there. I love doing absolutely crazy stuff as much as anybody else. So if you come to me and say, Grant, I've got something really crazy I want to do, I'll be the first person to say, I'm there. I'm in it. Let's do that. Including, I jump out of perfectly good aeroplanes. I'm good at parachuting. If you want to give it a go, I'd be more than happy even to do a tandem with you. Yeah, we can always work your way up. You know, we're going to throw you off a bridge, and we're going to attach a bungee. You're not Australian, so we'll attach the bungee. Why not take you up into the air as well?
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, you know, you're lucky you're not Australian. We had the world champs in rugby a few years ago, and of course we do have the world champs. But when we were doing that, us here at Galaxy 107, we opened up an 0800 helpline for Wallaby fans, and it was 0800 1-0, 1-0. Not a thing. Didn't get a single phone call.
Well,
It's Australians. They can't even. They think they pay for a free phone line. Absolutely. You know, they can't even spell beer. They've got a can of alcohol with 4 X's on it.
oh, you mean the Fosters?
Yeah, well, there is Foster's and there's 4X. That's the two main beers over there. One is Foster's, they can spell. The other is, well, I think it's beer. Well, either it's sex with 2 X's.
Oh, well. I don't know if that doesn't sound good, though.
I got to be honest with you, it actually tastes quite nice. But don't tell them that. Oh dear. We're going to get into so much trouble when you guys get there. I tell you something, if I don't get you guys arrested within the first 24 hours of arriving in New Zealand, maybe I'm not doing something right. And she's still game. She's still game. I like that spirit. I really do. Inga, where does your name originate from?
It's Swedish.
Thought there had to be something like that there. To be quite honest with you.
But I'm from New Jersey, so.
That's fine. You know, my name is Grant. It's English, but you know something? I come from Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, my father was actually a Native American. My mother was Scottish. Yeah, I'm a Bitzer. And would you believe, they came to New Zealand. I was 2 years old. They escaped. I was left behind. Hell of a plan, that one. It was a hell of a plan. No, my father was actually... Oh, no, actually, my father was called up for active service in Vietnam and thought this was the safest country in the world for at least one of his children. So I was a Bernardo's baby. Yeah, so I forgive him. Not much, but I do. You know what I mean? Just leave. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy country to leave a kid in, believe me. Now, anyway, I want to talk to you about candy. Now, I've got to be very, very honest with you. This came through to me this morning. I have not heard it yet, and I am dying with anticipation to be able to hear it. Please, tell me about it.
Oh God, you got another hard one. No, actually, this one's probably difficult to explain. It's kind of about cocaine and a person who likes cocaine. But I've never done it, so I don't really know.
Okay, I believe you. Believe me. You know, how many $20 notes have you got in your purse, and how many of them have been tainted? Come on. Oh my goodness. Don't worry.
That's my story. I'm not the cokehead. No, I just kidding.
Not the
But
cokehead.
somebody out there might enjoy coke and they can listen to some. Actually, you would have no idea it was about cocaine if you listened to it.
Is it about?
It's about a chick, too. It's about two things together. But I'm not allowed to talk about it.
What
You
it,
can listen to it.
absolutely, we are going to play it, but you know, it's nice to know the little backstories every now and again. Hard to be able to interview somebody who doesn't want to talk about their songs. They don't know why they've written them. But at the same time, you kind of question yourself, why are they singing them if they don't know why they've written them? But, you know, some of the best songs in the world come out, and especially about cocaine. I don't mind a bit of cocaine, to be quite honest. I love watching people taking it. I don't take drugs myself, I've got to be honest with you, but you know, people have habits and everything like that, and that's their own choices, as long as they're not doing themselves super damage. That's another deal. But at the same time, what's wrong with singing about cocaine? Bit of candy right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here's Lola Montez. Ooh, man, it's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Are you guys having fun? That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107. Barbara, stop making faces at me. You're trying to put me off, aren't you? She does this all the time, guys. She really does. She tries to get in there and give me a poke of the tongue every now and again, or something like that, just in the corner of the eye. You ever get that the little in the corner of your eye? Somebody tries to do something and it just takes your whole focus. And yeah, she tries that all the time. Luckily, I'm far more professional than that and don't even acknowledge that she's done it. Anyway, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm joined by Lola Montez coming out of Nashville. And we were talking just a wee while ago about getting them down here, down under. At the same time, I did warn you a little earlier on that somebody from Cairns, Australia, they listen to our show all the time. Every interview we do, we get the same question. And of course, this young lady has just recently hit me up. So I've got to ask each and every one of you, and I'm going to start with Inga. Inga, what's your marital status?
I'm in a relationship. Married. I'm not married.
You're not married, but you're in a relationship. So come on, spill the goss. Who is he?
Technically, I am married. I'm still married. I'm still actually married. Technically.
You're in a relationship. You're not married, but technically you're married. Hold on, you sound like you sound like the wife now. Hold on. Okay, moving on.
Not clear.
All right, let's move on. Blake, what about yourself? Are you married?
Not married.
Not married. Okay, take it for one. And what about you, Kurt?
I am married.
Okay, now give us a big shout out for your good wife.
Wait, what?
Give us a shout out for your good wife.
Oh,
Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
hi. If you're watching. Not right now, but later.
You will actually, because a little down the track we're going to send you this interview anyway, so that you can warn all your friends never to do this ever again. But at the same time, the people that you're married to are so important, believe me, because it helps the background of the band, doesn't it? And having that support is always welcome when you're trying to tour around the countryside. You need people to understand.
Yes, and that's sometimes a rare thing and hard to find. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And believe me, my wife, when I'm touring around, especially not only New Zealand, but around the world sometimes, she never really does understand, but she does absolutely back up my career, if you know what I mean. So it's always nice to be able to have that support, don't you feel?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And of course, Inga is married, not married, in a relationship, and well, maybe she does have support people, you never know. We'll work it out one of these years. Blake, on the other hand, well, I've got an Australian that may want to date you anytime soon, but she's got to come with a brewery and a boat.
What am I coming with? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll sort something out for you. No, actually for Blake.
Oh, he's talking Blake.
Oh, say again?
We may get you hooked up with an Australian, but as I said, she's got to come with a beer, with a brewery and a boat.
Oh,
He's got to come with a brewery?
Yeah, absolutely. She's the one that's asking.
No.
I'm totally confused. What's going on right now?
Well, that's not hard. We're talking about Australians. They are confusing. Yeah, absolutely. You can lose the plot on Australians.
On your glorious island.
Yeah, they have a place over there, would you believe? It's called Woolloomooloo. Yeah. I never want to go to a head that's made out of wool.
Hey, I will show up on a boat and tour any brewery.
There you go.
Beer with the brewery.
Well, I tell you what, maybe we should introduce them to the Dead South.
Yes.
The go singing in breweries, you know, that's a damn good idea. Now, at the same time, while we have you down here, down under, we might take you, do a bit of yachting around the biggest city that we have, which is Auckland, the Hauraki Gulf. We may be able to take you out there and have a few wines and stuff like that and enjoy the scenery. Is there anything in particular you would like to do when you're down here, down under?
Don't know. It would be up to you guys,
I mean,
right?
do you still have those kiwi birds?
Yes, they're actually our national bird. Not like your national bird, believe me, if we put them in a fight, we know who's going to win.
Oh, really? I didn't mean like that, but...
Believe me, I had a guy from a band called Voices of Extreme. He says, if we put our national bird and your national bird in a ring, who would win? And I says, your national bird would have lunch.